Casual Saturday, sport my Cardinals jersey. It is gorgeous outside, so I wanted to get this information out to you so that I could get outside for the weekend. It was Teacher Appreciation Week this week at my school. Okay, it was Teacher Appreciation Week at my school. I guess next week is Teacher Appreciation Week. I don't know. It's the first full week of May. It doesn't matter. Just appreciate your teachers at some point in May for Teacher Appreciation Week. So that is a whole other video that I will share some of the things that we did for teacher appreciation. But what I wanted to share with you today was how we handle kindergarten registration, what we use to screen kindergartners, and our kindergarten parent night. So that's kind of what this video is about, and maybe it will help you guys, or you can comment in the comments below, right down here, see right here, comments. Then I will know what you guys do for your kindergarten screening. So here we go. Okay, today's kindergarten video is brought to you by actually Chick-fil-A and not Starbucks. Okay, so our kindergarten registration starts in about February, and we start taking appointments in February. Every school does their own. We have 5 elementaries, and we have a shared spreadsheet in the office, so the secretaries, the nurse, and I can all see it. So if a parent calls to set up an appointment, we all have a spreadsheet. And it's just address information, birthday, email. We do ask if and what preschool that the student went to, so that I don't really know why, because we don't ever do anything with that information. I guess we could see like if they went to Smart Start or they went to Tiger Cubs. Anyway, so we have that information for someday. Each building shares their staff, so we have 5 elementary schools. We never host it on the same day, and we share speech teachers, base teachers, counselors, so that we have enough hands to help us with our screening. We give the dial test, and we have vision, hearing, the nurse sees them, and then we also keep a spreadsheet with just comments about a student. So for example, we would write down if a student has separation anxiety, because we want to know how to support them when the school year starts. If a parent seems nervous has lots of questions and they're nervous, we make a note about that, because we know that when they start school, that parent might be nervous and they might need more support. If a student cries a lot, or they just refuse to do anything, we write that. And we take all these notes because we want to know how to support the students and the families. It's about 5 appointments an hour. They're 45-minute appointments. And then at the end of the appointment, they meet with the kindergarten teacher or a counselor who's ever available, so that we can go over their screening time. We go over the dial, we go over the kind of how they did, if they were nervous, what we think about where they are as far as related to the other kids. If a student doesn't know any letters, doesn't know any numbers, they can't do a lot of the things on the dial, they can't cut, they're just very, very low. We talk to the parent about things that they can do in the summer. We talk about it's going to probably take a while to get acclimated to school. So we share all of that with the parent at the exit conference. We are lucky that the majority of our students enroll during this time. So let's say I had 45 students come to kindergarten screening. Hopefully that's the majority of the students. Some schools have some come now, maybe 60, and then all of a sudden at the beginning of the year, because of mobility or our low-income families don't know about screening, even though we try to communicate in a variety of ways, they will have 20 to 25 enroll in the fall, and that adds a teacher as much. So I like having these screenings early in May and April, so that we have a little bit of an idea of class size and how many teachers we're going to need that year, but it's not always a guarantee. We offer student registration in August again, so we will add those students to our list, and we will screen them. It's just that the only staff that will have screen at that time is our counselor. So it is a A long day. We start at 8. We used to forget and start at 7:30, and then we would have like nobody would be there on time and the students would be coming in. So we moved our start time a little bit, and then I also bring in lunch for all of the helpers because we have counselors, we have the kindergarten teachers get subs, we have paraprofessionals, we have speech teachers from other buildings, we have health staff from other buildings, the nurse invites health staff from area hospitals, students that need experience. So we always order in lunch that day. It's kind of an informal lunch competition between the elementary schools. Okay, not really. The other elementary schools may not know that, so shh. But anyway, I think I won this year. We had Chinese food. Do we have Chinese food? Yes, I think we had Chinese food. So I think I won this year for the luncheon. And it's only a competition because we have staff from every building. And so we talk about who had the best lunch. But anyway, so that's how our screening day goes. The next thing I want to talk about is our parent night, and we just hosted that, and this was our first one. We have not necessarily hosted a parent night before, but we think the parents wanted that information. So that's the next thing I'm going to share with you guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So next I wanted to talk about our information night that we have for parents. This was our first one. I did a survey on Facebook to ask if you, and I sent an email by the way, when you started school at Willard East, was there anything that would have been beneficial before you started? What would you have liked us to tell you before you started kindergarten, or I guess if you're a new student? So we got some feedback. So I ran it by my kindergarten teachers. Okay, when I say ran it by my kindergarten teachers, I think they probably thought, yeah, we're doing this. But it was a good idea, and they got on board, and they were awesome, and the ideas that they had of things to talk about were spot on. They were nervous about talking in front of adults, but they did so well. I just love them when they do this kind of stuff because they're used to talking to kindergartners. Anyway, okay, there's a link in the comments description of this video of our presentation. So I made that public so you can see what we talk about. I asked for teacher volunteers to help me because the kindergarten teachers presented to the parents, but they have their kids with them, so it's really hard to present when the kids have to try to sit still. So I asked for teacher volunteers, and I have an account that I can pay for working with students, so I could give them an hour and a half of pay. Some of them didn't qualify and had to get comp time, and I also bought them lunch the next day. It was Friday lunch, and we always do a staff order for lunch, but I paid for their lunch this time. So that's how I got my teacher volunteers. And in the presentation, if you take a look at that, the things that they covered were drop off and pickup time, rest time first quarter, supplies, school supplies, how lunch works, snack, bus, how they could volunteer as a parent. But what we thought that they wanted to know and the questions that they had we knew might be different. What teachers want to share and tell parents what to do is a lot of times different than the uncertainties that parents had. A really big question that came up was about the before and after school program and how to sign up for that and make sure their kids were in the program, and then also what that's like. So what's it like at the before and after school program? So I explained that just a little bit, and we'll add a slide for that next year so it's a little bit better. We also are going to try to implement, we're going to implement a stop, drop, enroll where the parents can walk into the building, but they stop at what we call the inner circle. It's just right inside the door. They drop their kids off right there. We'll have a whole bunch of teachers there, and then they roll. We are implementing the Leader in Me next year, and our kickoff is in the morning. Every morning, as soon as the bell rings, we're doing Leader in Me habits training and activities and class meetings. So we have to get started because we've talked about we don't want to lose time adding a new initiative. So sometimes when parents walk their kids down to class, we can't get started right then. So we are going to call it Stop, Drop, and Roll. We're still going to meet the kids. We're still going to meet the parents. We're still going to relay the messages, but we want the teachers to be able to just get started right as soon as they come in. Let's see. Okay. The kids, this is why I had teacher volunteers. What we did with the kids, I wasn't really sure. I knew the presentation to the parents would only last maybe 30 minutes. I thought 45 minutes, but it was really just 30 minutes. So what were we going to do with the kids for that amount of time? So in my mind planning, I thought, okay, 10 kids per adult, and we would have about 4 groups if 40 of them showed up. By the way, we had 24 out of 48 families show up, but I had planned on 40. But anyway, so each teacher or staff member took a group of kids with them, and I had 4 groups. The rotation was art room, music room, library, classroom, and when they came back, they had to go through the pretend lunch line. In the art room, they had to write their name. In the music room, we had a song, we had a CD in the sound system, and they could sing a song. In the library, we had a book, Mrs. Bindergarten Goes to Kindergarten. And in the classroom, I don't really have any idea because I just said we need to show them the classroom, so have them sit on the carpet and do something. I don't even know if they got to that. And then when we were done with the parent meeting, the kids came back, even though it was question and answer session, the kids came back, and we had cookies in the lunch line, so they had to pretend walk through where the lunch line is going to be, and then they just each got a cookie. Of course, we over-ordered cookies because we thought more people were going to be there, but I thought that was a great idea, and it was my kindergarten teachers that came up with that idea for the kids. They talked about next year, let's just go outside. They all wanted to go out to the playground and play. I kind of just didn't want them to get hurt before they even started school, so I'm not sure if we will do the playground or not. I know that schools do kindergarten roundup and all kinds of different things for kindergarten. That's just kind of where we are right now for kindergarten, and we'll tweak it each year as we go. But it was really successful. I had parents show up at this kindergarten parent night that already have kids in my school and loved it. They thought it was super helpful. We covered information that they didn't even know, and they've had kids in my school, so that was awesome. But if you have questions or you want to know more about how we did kindergarten information night, look at the presentation the teachers put together. It's down in the description. And then feel free to email me or make comments, and I'll get back to you with any other information about kindergarten screening that you have.